Hey folks, Machinery Pete here. Busy week this week. Yesterday, February 10th, I was in Bloomington, Illinois, speaking to my friends at the Illinois Auctioneers Convention. Wednesday, I'll be giving a talk at 1:30 at the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville. So if you're at the show, right after you have a little lunch, why don't you pop on over and we'll talk about trends with used equipment and tractors in particular. Thursday, the next day, I'm heading out to California. Central California to hopefully catch the end of the World Ag Expo in Tulare. Last day of the show there on Thursday. And then Friday I'll be at Ritchie Bros' big auction in Tipton, California, in the central part of the state there, in the San Joaquin Valley. So let's go to their website now. rbauction.com is Ritchie Bros' website. Always great fun to cover their sales. They're really events in themselves. And I think we're up over 1,600 pieces on the sale next Friday, February 15th, here in Tipton. You can click on the link on their website. It'll take you to the listing of equipment. You can see here 121 front wheel assist tractors. Just always a great variety of equipment on the Ritchie Bros. Sales. There's one tractor in particular I'll have my eye on here next Friday on the auction. It's a CaseIH 335 2010 model, just over 1,000 hours on it. I really like the way Ritchie Bros. Lays out their website here. It's very, very clear and concise, great information. So here's the tractor, 2010 model, 335 Magnum, front wheel assist, 1,035 hours. So they got 67 pictures of it here, so every possible angle you could ever want to look at. But you can see it's a very nice tractor. You can click through all the pictures. Pretty sharp looking there. And there's a recent picture, just over 1,033 hours on it. So it'll be a nice tractor. Now I did a little video interview with Jeremy Martella, the Regional Sales Manager at Ritchie Bros. Tipton, California site, talking about the sale on Friday. And let's go to that interview now. Hey folks, Machinery Pete here, and I'm with Jeremy Martella, Regional Sales Manager with Ritchie Bros. Auction at their Central California site in Tipton, California. Jeremy, good to be with you today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to come out to your auction next Friday, February 15th. Starts at 8 a.m., is that correct?
That is right, yeah. It starts at 8 a.m. Already going to have consigned over 1,600 items, so it's going to be an interesting long day that will be fun-filled for sure.
Well, every Ritchie Bros. Auction is a fun day. Lots happening, and I'm really intrigued by your mix of machinery out there, Jeremy. Why don't you tell folks about your local conditions there? And you're in the Central California, in the San Joaquin Valley, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. West Coast in California, very diverse in the amount of crops that are grown out here, so it brings an interesting amount of diversity with this auction every year, just as far as the different types of equipment we get in here. Mm-hmm. We already have over a couple hundred ag tractors consigned, but along with that, just the diversity in the tillage equipment and the row crop equipment and harvesting equipment is pretty interesting to see kind of what we have lined up for next week.
You were telling me, you were telling me before, Jeremy, about the nut industry out there with pistachios, walnuts, almonds. Why don't you tell folks about how that industry has been the last few years and kind of their equipment needs and what you're seeing out there?
Yes, for sure. It's over the last probably 10 years, we've been seeing a lot of row crop equipment, coming through the yards, and of course people are always going bigger and better. So you're going from anywhere from a 4-row cultivator over the last 15, 20 years up to some 36-row stuff, folding cultivator, stuff like that. But the interesting part is the amount of row crop equipment we've been selling, just due to the fact that people are going in and planting these permanent crops. And it's it could be the nut industry all the way to vineyards and fruit trees and stuff like that. So now we're starting to see over the last 10 years a lot more diversity coming through the yard with harvesting equipment for the nuts and stuff like that. It's been an interesting mix. Start to see what's coming on the market.
And also the dairy industry, obviously, out there in Central California has been some challenges, but a big industry. What do you see in there, Jeremy, on the equipment front?
Yeah, real tough on the dairymen over here the last 3 years. They just, California is basically the lowest price paid for milk in the industry, and we produce quite a bit of it out here. And these guys have really been struggling. You see a lot of dairymen, unfortunately, having to liquidate some equipment, and a lot of bankruptcies going on, unfortunately. And the only saving grace out here for these guys have been the beef price on the cull cattle has definitely been good returns for them.
Right.
But we're looking hopefully to get these guys healed up from their wounds. It's just been real tough for these guys.
Right. What about now, a week out from the sale here, Jeremy? The calls coming in from folks interested in equipment. Are you picking up any patterns or interest in any particular type of equipment? What are you seeing?
Yeah, we get quite a bit of activity through the U.S., Canada, Mexico. Just as far as a lot of guys calling in on ag tractors, of course. We have a lot of belted tractors coming up next week. Over 30 consigned from Deeres to Challengers and Caterpillar, and so a lot of calls on that from guys back east and the Midwest, and so that's been a lot of activity.
Okay, and I see you have a number of sprayers on the sale too, Jeremy?
Yeah, we've got quite a few high cycle sprayers lined up, and that piques some interest as well. The guys, of course, out west here, we don't run a lot of the bigger high cycle sprayers, more of the John Deere 6000 series,
sure.
4-wheeler, 3-wheeler stuff, still used heavily in the row crop for cotton and spraying vegetables and sorts.
Okay.
So the bigger high cycle sprayers, we don't see a whole lot out here. I know we've got one consigned for next week.
Mm-hmm.
But it's usually on the smaller side of the Deere high cycle sprayers is primarily used out here.
Okay. What about now? If folks want to bid or follow the auction, they can go to rbauction.com. That's your website, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, that's correct. And you can follow any auction online. Of course, like today, Las Vegas is probably about a little over halfway through their auction, and you just log on the website there and click view auction. Of course, you don't have to create an account. It's just free to view, and you can listen to the audio and look at a still picture of what's being sold and follow along with the auctions. So for next week, for instance, a guy can get logged on, and of course, we're starting at 8 a.m. Pacific and watch the auction along the way. And if a gentleman or lady wanted to bid, they could just log on and a couple days prior and get your online bidding credentials all signed up. So that's one way to bid. Of course, bid on site for sure. We'll start registering next Tuesday, and if the guy can't make the auction, he can either bid online or leave a proxy bid as well.
Okay, so again, the auction is next Friday, February 15th, Tipton, California. Starts at 8 a.m., is that correct? But at Pacific time?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and rbauction.com, and you guys have your phone number all over the website if folks have questions on the equipment?
Yeah, that's correct. If you have any questions for the Tipton sale next week, just click on the link on the auction calendar, and it'll bring up our main office phone number. And feel free to give a call in if you guys have any questions on any of the equipment. Be more than willing to help anybody out.
All right. Well, hey, Jeremy, thanks for the information. I'm looking forward to coming out to the sale next week and, seeing how stuff sells in Central California.
Yeah, we look forward to having you. Hopefully we keep the sun out here for you.
You guys had a little rain last night, you said, huh?
Little rain, just enough to calm the dust. And, it's interesting. It always rains the week of the World Ag Expo, so I'm sure we're going to get another little shower next week. But it usually clears up for the Friday sale, and always tends to be a nice day. Now,
the sale Friday, is that the day after the World Expo ends out there, Jeremy?
Yes, it is. The World Ag Expo starts next Tuesday, so it'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then we've always had this auction the day after the ag show ends. So it's been pretty good for the guys. Everybody that comes out here attends the shows, they can always come out and stay the extra day and come to the auction. So it's been a good thing. Of course, everybody that's coming from back east too. I know there's a lot of snowbirds out here too that definitely like to attend as well. So it's always fun.
Ritchie Bros auctions, you guys are great marketers. You do a great job, and for us snowbirds here from frozen Minnesota, come out for the expo and then the auction. That's a great time. So looking forward to come out and thanks again for visiting this morning, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks, Machinery Pete. I appreciate it.
You bet.